a new season, you guys know there's going to be new dribble moves. So today I'm going to end up showing you the best dribble moves in NBA 2K26 with all the new animations they have added, while I end up breaking down the best dribble moves that you can use for a small build, a big build, a 7-footer, a 6'10". It don't matter if you got a low ball control or even a high ball control. There's going to be something in today's video to help y'all boys out, to combo up or even get yourself open when needed. But before we do that, we're going to make sure our controller settings are right. So make sure you go to your controller settings, make sure that you're going to have your pro stick function on default. So you'll be able to do all the dribble moves that you want, even if you do hop steps and things like that. Keep it on default. But also, you want to make sure you have passive dribble hand switch disabled, which is to end up making you switch your ball hand even if you stop for a half a second. But before we get into it, make sure y'all boys drop a like on the video, make sure y'all boys subscribe if y'all haven't yet. We're gonna get into the new animations they've added, and the first animation is a manual quickly as a go-to shot, which you need an 82 shooting range to unlock. But also, this is for my small guard, so we're gonna hop into my court and test it out. Let me see. Off the right hand. Okay, that's the animation off the right. But let me see if I can make the shot off the go-to. There we go. So to the right hand, it's not that bad. It's cool. Off the triple threat, it's cool. Off the triple threat, you get the same animation. But as the ball being in your left hand, let me see. It's like an extra gather. I'm testing if this animation is going to get bumped, so when you play defense, it'll make you stop dribbling. Oh, I made that. Okay. Try one more time. Ooh. Oh, we got an ankle breaker off of it. Hold on. But I can say this animation is a little slow, so I say C+. The next new animation they have added is Kyle Lowry hop step. Now, this is for my small guards again. They need to add some more versatility when it comes to these animations, or add more for big builds, even big guards. But you need to have a 79 mid-range to unlock. We're going to end up hopping into my core and testing out this. If y'all remember from NBA 2K25, this hop step was nasty. Let me see. It's nice to the right. I like it to the right. To the left, you can't really run out of it since they changed the mechanics of the step back or anything like that. Let me see. I feel like that's green. I don't gotta do the Kimba. I feel like I can green that without the Kimba. Green bang. So far, I can say this is a good hop step to use. It's got a nice little versatility, so it creates a lot of space. Let me see if I can get it off the side. Yep, you can shoot out it instantly. When it comes to your shooting hand, I'm gonna rate this at A- for the animation. The next new animation they've added is Eric Gordon, and this is gonna be for builds under 6'10", but you can have a 75 ball control to use, which would be in his player signature size up. Let me see how this looks. It gives a feel of Paul George kinda, but Paul George is faster. It's a quick tween cross. But most of the time, I usually don't even use my signature size up, but so far, I'm gonna say I will rate this maybe a C- because we have better animations for signature sizes to be used in this game, and a lot of people don't even use their signature size up. But if you wanted to choose one better than this, I'd rather use Paul George if that was the case. But as we get into our go-to shots, there's a lot of new go-to shots that I added. As a Reggie Jackson, y'all boys know, if you're a small guard, you like using crazy combos and you want to end up getting into your pro play bag, Reggie Jackson has a good one to use. You can get some ankle breakers off of it. Keon Ellis, another one, but it's to your off-ball hand, not your strong hand, and it's very similar to Reggie Jackson, which both of them only require you to have an 81 shooting range to even unlock this go-to shot. Now, one of my favorite go-to shots for small guards is Darius Garland. If you want to combo up or you want to be able to get some crazy ankle breakers, Darius Garland is one of those ones you want to use, and you don't really get bumped out this animation as much as others, and all you got to do is have an 84 shooting rating. We got Bryce in the ball. This is the ones for the bigger guards, and you want to end up getting to the hole, slashing, or you want to get some crazy ankle breakers. 79 shooting rating to unlock this, and it's good to combo with this actual go-to shot. Then we got Jordan Poole, which Jordan Poole is a little bit shifty. I can say he got some shifty animations, and you only need a 76 to unlock it. But if you want a go-to shot that's very similar to Bryce Cinnaball, and it has a better pull-up off the step back, this is what you want to end up using. And for my bigger guards that's like on shot creator type of timing and it want to be like Devin Booker, I definitely recommend you to use Jimmy Butler over Devin Booker, which they're very similar, but Jimmy Butler has a lot of versatility as of being able to break out the animation. Then we know Kevin Durant is one of the most used animations in the game, especially for builds that's 6'5" and up, all the way to 7'4" if they got an 87 mid-range or three-pointer. But if you're on those bigger builds of 6'10s and 7'4s, and you can get at least a 79 mid-range rating or 79 three-pointer, Paolo Banchero is one of those ones that's nice because you can get a nice little speed boost out of it to push you forward and get you to the rim. And if you ever experienced Luka Doncic's go-to shot, I would recommend you to use Kyle Kuzma. It's very similar to what Luka is, but it has better breakout points, and you will be able to break ankles even more with having a 68 mid-range or three-point rating to use. Now, De'Aaron Fox. This is one of those ones I like very much. This is one of those ones, if you really want to get in your pro play bag and you want to get it like really crazy, or you really want to cook up, use De'Aaron Fox, 78 mid-range or three-pointer to use, and you gotta be a small guard. But another one that's my favorite is Davion Mitchell. Don't sleep on Davion Mitchell go-to shot. Now, if you really want to combo up and you really like to use go-to shots, Davion Mitchell is a good one, and you only need to have a 61 shooter rating. But for one that's a little bit different, it's that Zach LaVine, the one that you see a lot of people coming out here shooting full court shots with heat check or even with deep bomber. That's the one they're using. And then for one that's been used at the beginning of the year, Jalen Suggs is also a good one if you know how to combo with it, and you get a crazy ankle breaker if you know what you're doing. For the hop jumpers, Kyle Lowry, as it's been added to this season, I definitely had to put it in here as a best hop jumper already. Now, Kyle Lowry, you need a 79 mid-range or three-pointer to get it. I definitely would say give it a try. But for one of my favorite hop jumpers, it's normal hop jumper. Like this one it's the same animation from both sides. I can time it very easily. You don't have to have any rating to use it. Now, a lot of you guys, y'all might like Devin Booker because it's got a lot of versatility, and you only need an 86 shooter rating to unlock it. Now, Jaylen Brown is cool. Only thing I like about Jaylen Brown is that snatchback animation right there, and it's only to his strong hand. So if anybody's going to use Jaylen Brown, that step back is very nice to use. Then Stephen Curry for my small guards. A lot of guards, they are sleeping on Stephen Curry hop jumper because it creates a lot of space, and you can be able to get a nice speed boost off of it to be able to get some threes up. But it does require you to have a 92 shooting rating. And Zach LaVine is one of those ones I've been using lately, and it's very good to use, especially to your strong hand. Now, DeMar DeRozan, a lot of you guys told me to try DeMar DeRozan. He got a nice little side step. He got a nice little step back. This is mostly if you're going to get into the mid-range work, which you only need an 80 shooting rating to unlock DeMar DeRozan. But the same thing with Anthony Edwards. It has a lot of cool step back animations that you really can end up cooking up with. Now, CJ McCollum, he has a few animations that's cool to end up using for my small guards, like his side step. Now, his side step you can get real glitchy with, which you only need a 79 shooting rating to unlock. But if you're someone that really likes pro play animations for bigger builds, try out Jason Tatum. He got a lot of crazy mid-range like hop steps, hop jumpers that you can end up using. James Harden, you know, he got an iconic step back, 83 shooting rating to unlock. Now, one of my favorites, top 5 to me, Jordan Clarkson, 83 shooting rating, and you'll be able to do a crazy amount of combos with this if you know what you're doing. And the same thing with Jordan Poole. Jordan Poole got a lot of shifty animations in his package. So you got a 76 shooting rating, you can unlock Jordan Poole as long as your build is under 6'5". But as I get into the dribble moves, we're gonna start with the small guards and big guards. We're gonna start all the way from the top all the way to the bottom. First thing we're gonna get into is dribble styles. Now, dribble styles, I came across Jason Tatum. Jason Tatum is a cool one to use. It's a little bit different. All you need is 75 speed with ball, but you can get some different options if you don't want to use Zach LaVine or you don't want to end up using other ones, but it's a decent one to try out. Then we got Ja Morant, the #1 dribble style to use on a small guard. If you're not using Ja Morant, what you're doing, or you maybe end up using Zach LaVine, which is one of the top dribble styles to use in the game. Ja Morant, Zach LaVine, literally the top 2 dribble styles you can use in this game. One requires you to have a 75 speed ball, one requires you to have an 85. And then we got Darius Garland, which most people don't really use. It's a decent dribble style, which we had to use in 2K25, but it really doesn't compare to the Ja Morant dribble style, as you get launch animations or speed boosts out of those. Now, if you want something that gets you a more realistic style of dribbling, try DeJounte Murray. DeJounte Murray is one of those ones you end up getting cross launches and things like that. Now, if you're on the low end for your speed with ball and you got at least a 60, the best thing you can end up using is Zion Williamson. This will be your best option, no matter if you're on a lockdown or a popper build and you didn't get to the 75 speed with ball threshold to get Zach LaVine. Zion Williamson is going to be the one that's going to end up saving you and saving that build. Now, when it comes to the signature sizes, I got a few more that I wanted to add. We're going to add SGA in there. All you need is an 84 ball control unlock. It's a cool one to use. But then we got Paul George. Like I told you before, I prefer to use Paul George over using that new signature size up of Eric Gordon. And then we're going to throw Stephen Curry. Stephen Curry is one of those ones that's going to be very dominant for me, because especially on my small guards, I usually use Stephen Curry, which it requires a 92. For my bigger builds, I do use Tracy McGrady. Tracy McGrady is a good one to use. You can tween, you can do cross. It has a lot of variety. A lot of people don't like Tracy McGrady, but if you don't like Tracy McGrady, use Scoot Henderson. Scoot Henderson is a good one to use. Only need an 80 ball control to unlock. Now, if you're on a small guard, try out Trae Young. You got to like tweens, cross in those two, and they're very quick. But there's only a few that I really try to use when it comes to my small guard or my big guards. But one of those ones that a lot is actually underrated, James Harden. Now, if you want to get that tween, like that actual walk down animation, James Harden has a nice animation to use. And if you just don't know what to put, you could just throw Pro on. Pro is not bad itself. It gets the job done. It's just not as fast as using a Trae Young, a Curry, or even using a Trace McGrady, but it's one of those ones to get the job done. Then we got Markelle Fultz. This is one of those ones that got a nice little tween, and it's like a gather between his dribble moves, so you can really flow. But when it comes to the breakdown combos, a new one I want to be adding is Eric Gordon. Now, Eric Gordon got one that you can really use as a connector, that you can really do a lot of things out of it. You could do a half spin, you could do a spin back. It's a lot of things that you can do with Eric Gordon. You got to just practice with it. It's just a setup move. But Tracy McGrady, one of those those ones I told you guys don't sleep on, especially if you want something different. 85 ball control to use. Then we got Jordan Poole, which almost everybody on the game ended up used before, especially when the game came out, but it's still good to use, and all you need is the 80 ball control. Then we got Devin Booker, the most used one for especially for competitive gameplay or even trying to crab people. Devin Booker, 85 ball control. Even though it says 6'10 and under, you only can use it all the way to 6'8 because 6'9 doesn't get an 85 ball control. Then we got Kevin Durant, cool little walk down step between the legs, little combo, nothing too crazy. If you got Zach LaVine on, you can misdirection out of it and still speed boost out of it. Jaylen Brown has a cool little pat, but also he gets a crazy animation after he pat because he get a crazy speed boost to his non-dominant hand. Then we got SGA. Now SGA is one of those ones you're gonna use for the walking people down. It's literally similar to the Paul George, but literally you can walk somebody down with SGA, but you only need an 84. We got Ja Morant. Now Ja Morant is one of those ones for even from 2K24 that's been good to use, especially if you know what you're comboing. But Paul George is one of those breakdown combos that can actually help you crab somebody and get past your defender. The same way as Bryce in the ball, go-to shot, get past defenders is very similar to what Paul George. And you know we got the De'Aaron Fox's escape, especially for my small guards. 89 ball control to unlock this. It's a good one to use if you want to be different, but everybody in their mother is going to be using Kemba Walker if you got an 89 ball control, 90 ball control, 92. Normally, Kemba Walker is going to be the #1 escape for small guards, but you know for my big guards, you're going to see a lot of people end up out there with the Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler is top tier because with Jimmy Butler escape, you can end up getting shots up easily because it makes the defender put his hands down. And if you're not using Jimmy Butler, you're definitely using Paul George out of the mix, which it has a good cross escape, but when it comes to between the leg tween escapes, it's not as good. But if you're not using those, you're definitely going to be using that SGA. SGA is one of those ones that's nice, which requires you to have an 84 ball control. If you want to activate the SGA animation, you're going to flick your right stick to your ball hand and then flick it away as you're going to end up getting that SGA cross. One of the most unstoppable crosses in the game. Then we got Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant escape is good, especially if you're in a build that doesn't get high ball control. 70 ball control, you can really get open. It's mostly going to be used for big builds. Kyrie Irving is a good one to use if you want to use something that's different. It has a lot of versatility. And if you want to end up really getting your bag, you really can cook up with Kyrie once you master it. Those are one of those ones for small guards if you don't want to use Kemba as well. But one that's going to be different, James Harden. Now, if you really master James Harden, you really can like cook up for real. Once you find some dribble moves that go in sequence with a James Harden escape, you really can get a bucket, which only requires an 86 ball control. Now for another escape is Trae Young. Only reason this is not higher on the list because a lot of people are using Kemba and you get the same crab animation, it's a little bit faster, but with Trae Young escape, it takes up more space. Now that we went over the dribble styles, breakdown combos and all that good stuff, even escapes, we're gonna get into the combo moves. Now, #1 combo move to me, it just came out recently, Devin Booker. You need an 85 ball control to use it, and it's hands down the best combo moves you can use. You can use Trae Young as well. As of recently, I tried to use Trae Young. It's one of those ones that's definitely cool to use. Now, if you don't know how to activate combo moves, all you got to do is go up the court, let go of R2, flick your right stick up 2 times, and it will give you the combo move animation. Now, if you was looking for the Sham Guide, Jordan Poole is where you get the Sham Guide if you want to do the Sham Guide up the court, which you got to be a small guard to do. But if you want something that's very similar to Devin Booker but not exact, it's going to be Jason Tatum, which only requires a 75 ball control to use, or you can use Zach LaVine. Now Zach LaVine does have a tween, but also a tween cross, but it's a little bit slow compared to using Jason Tatum or Devin Booker, or you can end up using Pro. Pro is a cool one to use if you don't have a high rating, but I usually use Pro, Devin Booker, and maybe a Jason Tatum here and there. Before a dribble move that gets used a lot, y'all know the crossovers. As of lately, I've been testing out some different crossovers. Allen Iverson is literally the same thing as Lonzo Ball, but it just doesn't push you that forward, and all you need is an 85 ball control and be under 6'5". But Lonzo Ball is going to be the #1 crossover in the game, and it's not the only crossover to use. It's a lot of versatility that you can choose from. If you're a starter 4, you can use De'Aaron Fox. De'Aaron Fox is cool, but I definitely would choose Lonzo Ball over De'Aaron Fox. It's just based on your play style and based on how you dribble, and also based on your dribble ratings. Because then the next one we got CP3. CP3 is very similar to De'Aaron Fox if you can't get De'Aaron Fox. That's the closest thing you're going to get to De'Aaron Fox if you don't have starter 4 as your rep. Now, it's a lot of different ones you can use, like Anthony Edwards. Anthony Edwards is a good one to use. Nice little cross launch, you get nice little crossover. You can get to the lane, get to the hole, and get on the rim if that's what you're really trying to do. Then we got Luka Doncic. Luka Doncic requires an 84 ball control, which is very similar to the Devin Booker one. The only thing that's really different is how he crosses the ball over. One is a push and one is a full cross, but they have a similar animation. And then when it got to pro, if you're someone that doesn't really do that many crossovers and you just want a decent one and you don't care for Lonzo Ball, pro can get the job done. It's with it having a good tween crossover. And then we got LaMelo Ball. This requires a 91 ball control. I'm gonna be honest to you, LaMelo Ball can be a hit or miss based on your. I would prefer using Luka Doncic or Devin Booker over LaMelo, but it's just all based on your preference. Then we got Josh Giddey. Josh Giddey is similar to the CP3s, the Anthony Edwards, but it's not fully the same, but it is a fast crossover to use, which only recommends you have a 76 ball control. But when it comes to the best behind the backs to use for small guards and big guards, you can use SGA. SGA is my favorite as it's going to require you to have an 84 ball control to use. It got a great explosive behind the back. It got it similar to a Curry slide animation, and you can use it on any type of build. Now, if you want to get a nice little steady, consistent behind the back, stand still, DeMar DeRozan, what you're looking for. 75 ball control, you can use it on big builds or little builds. I prefer using it on my bigger builds. Then you got Stephen Curry, which usually you're going to be using on a small guard, which requires you to have a 92 ball control, as you're going to end up getting the Curry behind the back and the old behind the back from the prior 2Ks. Then we got Trae Young. Trae Young has to running up the court behind the back, which is a cool animation, but he also has a great aggressive behind the back, which requires you to have a 90 ball control. Before an alternate behind the back to try out, you can use Kobe White. A lot of people still use Kobe White. Kobe White 85 ball control, which has a crazy explosive behind the back, and you only need an 85 ball control to use. Now, when it comes to Scottie Pippen has the fastest behind the back animation, and I'm not talking about stationary, literally moving up the court forward in transition. This is the fastest moving behind the back in the game, and if you want a great like standing behind the back and you want to end up getting explosives, use Kawhi Leonard, 80 ball control. If you want to get that Jamal Murray feeling from 2K24, 2K25, whatever game it was, this is the closest that you're going to end up getting. Then we got Pro. Pro can get the job done. If you don't like how DeMar DeRozan is, or any of those like that, try out Pro behind the back. And when it comes to the best spins, y'all know what I'm looking for. As I've been looking through some new animations, you got Stephen Curry, as it has the spin back that I always do, and this the Pro 4 spin from the old 2Ks. The same thing for Jamal Murray. And it also has a great transition spin, especially for both of those animations for Stephen Curry and Jamal. But y'all know, the top three is Steve Nash. It don't matter if you're on a small build or big build, as long as you got that 80 ball control. Then you got Penny Hardaway, which only requires a 75 ball control, and no matter if you're on a small build or big build, and you can use it. Then you can end up using DeMar DeRozan. DeMar DeRozan has the spin back animation, Pro 4 animation on the game as well. There's a lot of animations that you can get that have the same sequence. You can end up using Jimmy Butler. This has a different spin back, but it has a nice transition spin. It's just based on how you use it. With 2K dropping a patch recently that changed how you explode out of step back animations, I ended up labbing a few of them, especially with hesitations. A lot of you guys are over losing your mind, especially when it came to the speed boost glitch. You still can end up doing it. It's nothing really crazy. As of hesitation is the most important thing you need. Now, a lot of people using different hesitations. Stephen Curry is the best hesitation to use, especially for a small guard, if you want to still do a speed boost glitch. But I usually don't even do it. It's just one of those hesitations that's always been nice to me. It's crazy a lot of you guys are trying to do it just to do that one particular thing. The same thing you can do it with Anthony Edwards. Like, a lot of people, you just gotta really lab the game to know what animations really work. So y'all been stuck with using certain animations. Now, when it comes to those, you can really use Stephen Curry or that. But for me, my favorite hesitation in the game, that Jason Tatum. Jason Tatum hesitation is top tier to me. It's a top 3 hesitation to me, and it's not even when exploiting the game. It's what's actually like comboing and dribbling. A lot of you guys maybe was using Kobe White to try to do the speed boost glitch and stuff like that. I was using Kobe White. I was using Jason Tatum to actually dribble and crab my defender, which was actually a good move. Now, if you want to end up trying something different, you can use Jalen Brunson, which requires you to have a 90s ball control. But the thing about it, you have to be a small guard to use Jalen Brunson. It's a lot of good hesitations on this game. As of the ones, I would definitely try out Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant is a different one. You can get good momentum animations. If you like to do momentum cross, Kevin Durant, Jason Tatum are maybe the best two to use. But if you want a hesitation that actually creates a decent amount of space, not even a decent amount of space, a good amount of space, you're going to end up using Ja Morant. Ja Morant creates a lot of space. The only thing about it is how you set yourself up after you get out the hesitation. And if you want to sleep on normal hesitation, this is another one you can use if you like the momentum cross. Momentum cross in this game, it's a small, quick little move that you end up using as a setup move. That's what I end up using it for. But as of the hesitation, it does matter. Now, when it comes to the step backs, y'all are saying since the new patch came out, a lot of people are Devin Booker made. Even that you can explode out of step backs, you still can use the Devin Booker step back, or you can use other step backs. The best way not to wait for the animation to play out is to do an escape or a crossover. That's literally the best thing you can do. Now, if you want to look for one that's actually better and you want to be done with Devin Booker, use Trae Young. Trae Young step back is one of those ones that slept on, especially for my small guards. Try out Trae Young, 92 ball control, or you can try out De'Aaron Fox if you're a starter 4, 89 ball control with being a starter 4. It's very similar. You can be able to speed boost out of it very quick. It's nothing too crazy, especially with Vince Carter. Now, Vince Carter, this is a hit or miss for me. Vince Carter was cool at first, but for me, you can't shoot off Vince Carter's step back. That's one of the only problems I have with Vince Carter. If you try to end up doing a Vince Carter animation, it might have your body turned sideways and it might give you a weird animation. Then we got Stephen Curry. Now with Stephen Curry, it can be a hit or miss. This is just all based on your playstyle. If you want to try something different that's not going to be like meta. The same thing with Jason Tatum. Even when I brung out my Jason Tatum build and had his animations on, I ended up dropping 50 points with using all his animations, which is possible for you can end up cooking up. Then we got Kyrie Irving. You don't want to sleep on Kyrie. Kyrie is one of those ones from the old 2Ks that you definitely want to try out. And if you want something different, James Harden. Now James Harden got some ones that you come down the court and you pull it back, you can get a crazy speed boost or misdirection animation and really leave your defender in the dust. And for a moving step back that's a little bit different, it's going to be that Jalen Brunson. Now Jalen Brunson is end up doing that reverse animation. You can end up calling a reverse, whatever you want to call it, the walk back. It's somewhat similar to that, but it's going to be like a slow 1-2 animation that can still be effective the same way with Pro hop back, Pro step back. This is a good one to use. The only thing about it, you have to do escape, because you weighing out the whole animation is going to be bad. As long as you do escape out of it, you will be good. But for my bigger builds, my 6'10s to 7'4s, we're gonna get into it. The best animation y'all boys can use, the dribble styles, there's not that many that you really can get. As a 2K not really updating the seasons, really for the bigger builds like the 6'10s all the way to 7'4s, I'm gonna let y'all know now. Zion Williamson is the best dribble style you can get as a 6'10 with Giannis Antetokounmpo. Those are literally the top 2 dribble styles you can use in this game. It's between you have a 55 speed ball or a 60 speed ball. And if you don't really care for that, you can just stop at 40 and use normal. Normal is good as well. It's not gonna hurt you. Those are the top 3 dribble styles you can use for those big builds. Normal, Giannis Antetokounmpo, and Zion Williamson are the top 3 to use. Now when it comes to signature size ups, there's only a few ones that you really can mess with, and that's only a few ones I mess with. You can use Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant, 70 ball control, get the job done. Ben Simmons is a good one to use. You do quick little 1-2 and then you can do a misdirection or misdirection cross launch. But I would say Ben Simmons is very fluent when it comes to doing that like 1-2 or misdirection cross. Or you can end up using Pro. Pro is similar to Kevin Durant slightly, but it can be a hit or miss. But Giannis Antetokounmpo, Ben Simmons are very similar. It's just based on the rating that you have for when it comes to your ball handle. And last but not least, you got Zion Williamson. Now Zion Williamson is cool. It got a nice little 1-2. You can use Ben Simmons, Giannis, or Zion Williamson. They're very similar when it comes to those type of animations. Now when it comes to the breakdown, based on what your height is, what your ball control is, most of y'all are not going to use this, but if you are using this, the only 2 options that you really can use is Kevin Durant and Pro. That's what I would prefer. If you are on a build, you can just put none or don't even try to use it. The same thing for escapes. You're not going to have that many versatility with escapes. You can use normal escape, which will end up helping you create a little bit of space, or you can use Pro, which I would prefer you to try to use Pro escape if you want to go higher. But also, if you don't like Pro, the only other option that you really do have is using Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant and Pro are about the same, but Kevin Durant, you can do a little bit more with his escape move, and it does end up catching a lot of ankles. Now, when it comes to the crossovers, if you're a starter 4, you can use Giannis Antetokounmpo crossover, literally one of the best crossovers you can use in the game. If you can't get Giannis, you need a 65 ball control. But if you're not a starter 4, the only options you really have, you can use normal, which requires a 40 ball control. You can end up using basic if you don't have that high rating. You can still use this, get open. One of my favorites to be using if I don't have a high ball control. But when it comes to your combo moves, there's only really one option that I would choose, and it would be Pro. Pro is the only option. If you can't get one, don't use it. Don't even try to attempt it. Then if you don't know how to use your combo moves, it's flicking your right stick up 2 times without holding R2 to activate the combo moves. Now when it comes to the behind the backs, you can use normal behind the back, 40 ball control, and this is a hit or miss based on the player and the play style. You can use normal, you can use Pro, and then you can also use Kevin Durant as your behind the back if you want to get to that point. But when it comes to the spins, you only got a slight selection of spins. I'm gonna be honest, it's very slight. It's only 1 or 2 options really. You can use Kevin Durant, you can use normal, or you can end up trying out a new one as I've been testing out, especially for those bigger builds. Kevin Durant will be my top tier or normal, but you can end up using Joel Embiid. Those would be the top 3 that I would end up trying out: Kevin Durant, normal, or Joel Embiid, which requires a 55 ball control. Now when it comes to hesitations, there's not that many options. I told you, 2K need to add more animations for those bigger builds of 6'10" all the way to 7'4", as you have Kevin Durant hesitation, which is one of the best hesitations you can use for those big builds, as long as you got a 70 ball control to unlock, or you just have to be stuck with normal hesitation, which still can get the job done. Now for you guys, when it comes to the step backs, there's only a few options. You got a 70 ball control, Pro is going to be your friend, even though that they did change that you can't burst off the Pro step back. You still can do an escape to get out of Pro step back. And with being said, you need a 70 ball control. Now another option you can use is Joel Embiid. But the thing about Joel Embiid, you will maybe have to wait for the full animation, but it's a little bit quicker than Pro. It's just based on how you end up using it. As I told you, use the escape to get out the animation, or you can end up using normal. And the thing with normal, as you going backwards, it's the same as Joel Embiid, but it only requires you to have a 40 ball control. Now that I just gave y'all boys all the sauce of the best removals you can use on this game, to go 2 shots, to even hop jumpers, no matter if you're on a small guard, a big guard, a lockdown, a popper, even over my 6'10s to 7 footers, hey man, make sure y'all boys share the video to one of y'all friends. Make sure y'all like the video. Make sure y'all boys subscribe. Turn on notifications if y'all haven't yet. And also check out the 2 videos on the screen, man.